Welcome to today's webinar, Get on Board with FDOT, Student Opportunities at the Florida Department of Transportation. Today's webinar is sponsored by the STRIDE Center. STRIDE is the 2016 USDOT Region 4 University Transportation Center. We are a consortium of 10 colleges and universities with the University of Florida as the lead institution. Our mission is to develop novel strategies for reducing congestion. We invite you to contribute questions at any time through the chat box, and we will answer them at the end of the talk. Today, we welcome 3 speakers who will talk about FDOT's efforts to foster talent in the transportation industry. Brigette Kornbroke is the manager in the Organizational Development Office. Michelle O'Donnell is the Quality Management and Support Unit Supervisor, and Vitor Suguri, who's going to join us via video today, is a community planner and who was an intern at FDOT while working on his master's in public administration. We will now turn the webinar over to Brigette.
Thank you, Andine. I will share the screen again. Okay, thank you again, Andine. I definitely appreciate this opportunity that you've provided to Michelle and Vitor and myself. As Andine said, my name is Brigette Kornbroke. I'm the manager in the Organizational Development Office for Florida Department of Transportation. I've been with FDOT for just over 4 years, and I'm very proud to have the opportunities that I have to share with you all what our department does and what we believe in, and how you may get involved with Fdot. Fdot's mission is to provide a safe transportation system that ensures the mobility of people and goods, enhances economic prosperity, and preserves the quality of our environment and communities. Our mission gives you a sense of our values here at Fdot and what is important to us. It also helps us as leaders and employees guide the business that we do every day. As you can see, our mission is no small feat. It definitely takes an army, and that's why we are one of the largest state agencies in Florida. We have districts across the state with headquarters, field offices, and job opportunities in each district, along with in our central office here in Tallahassee. As you can see, we have district headquarters in Chipley, Lake City, Tampa, Bartow, Fort Lauderdale, Oviedo, Miami, and Ocoee, which is where our Turnpike Enterprise is headquartered. And again, we have field offices in each of those districts. Though FDOT is decentralized, meaning each district is managed by their own leadership, we all work very closely together to accomplish our common goals. An example of how we work together is demonstrated in our focus areas. Those focus areas are called our vital few. Our vital few focus areas are improve safety, enhance mobility, inspire innovation, and foster talent. Each of these areas has a multidisciplinary task team comprised of a diverse group of employees from across the state. These teams include interns, new hires, and veteran employees who work closely to take ideas for each of the areas and turn them into reality. The work surrounding the vital few has helped us to achieve our mission and has also improved collaboration and understanding of how we all fit into the mission of FDOT. Being such a large agency and having the responsibility that we do, it is very difficult for people to imagine the different disciplines involved and the opportunities that our agency is able to provide. Trust me, like I said earlier, I've been here just over 4 years, and I know I have no idea everything that this agency does. We wanted to outline some of the offices within the department to give you all a perspective of the different areas that you may eventually be able to be involved with FDOT. We have offices that fall under engineering and operations, being construction, design, emergency management, environmental management, maintenance, materials, program management, right-of-way, safety, and traffic engineering and ops. Understand that these slides are not all encompassing, but they do outline the overarching offices and some of the divisions that fall between those offices. Another area of the agency is finance and administration. Administration is where Michelle and I both fall under in organizational development. Comptroller and work program and budget are the other two areas that fall under finance and administration. And you could probably tell by those titles, those are more the money movers of the agency. We also have strategic development. So if you're interested in the different modes of transportation throughout the state of Florida, those are the offices that support and develop those different modal areas. There's aviation and spaceports, forecasting and trends, seaports, transit, rail, and then there's also the planning aspect of the agency. So we have policy planning, we have a research center where they do work hand in hand with Ondine and other folks in different universities, and systems implementation. And of course, we all know how important technology is, and it is extremely important to transportation. The different offices that fall within that area have to do with survey and mapping and transportation data and analytics and information security. So if any of you have any interest in those are some of the areas that our agency is involved with as well. And then we have a communications office, general counsel, an inspector general, and legislative programs. I know some of you on the call today may be specifically interested in engineering. Maybe you're already in school for engineering right now. And we do have disciplines throughout the agency with opportunities in the engineering realm, and you can see those on the screen. That is just a very high level view of the different offices within FDOT. But as you can see, there's a vast array of opportunities. I am going to turn this over to Michelle, and she's going to give you more of an idea of how you can get involved with those different offices.
Thank you, Bridget. Again, my name is Michelle O'Donnell, and I'm the Quality Management and Support Unit Supervisor in the Organizational Development Office. Our unit manages the internship program for the agency. And as Bridget stated, we have 8 districts with a central office in Tallahassee and a Turnpike Central location. At full capacity, we hire 6 positions in each district and 1 position in our state materials office located in Gainesville. In a few minutes, I will discuss how we hire in conjunction with the academic school schedules. First, we would like to share a brief video that showcases a few of our interns speaking about their experience while at FDOT.
This is why I chose FDOT, because they welcome me like family.
Well, these people, they do all kinds of different jobs. It is a government agency, but we're a team.
Being an intern, you have to socialize with others, you have to talk to people, you have to learn from them, you have to grow from them, and they have to help you.
The first thing I'll tell them about DOT is there is so many opportunities within the DOT. You don't have to just enjoy construction.
I've been able to meet some of the professionals that are within the offices. I've been to Primo and gotten to see what they do.
Definitely trips going out in the field as an intern. You get to see kind of what they do outside of the office.
I think getting out on the construction sites and gaining the hands-on experience is definitely been my favorite part so far.
My favorite part is definitely working with others.
Being exposed to as many professionals as possible is allowing me to build up my resume within the engineering field already. Interacting with the same people that I hope to see further on in my career.
So far with the DOT, my favorite part is really getting to see all aspects of the construction process from start to finish.
It's great that FDOT is offering this opportunity to them and me.
Great. As you can see here, our hiring calendar operates along the school calendar. We open the advertisements during the prior semester So you get plenty of time to interview and get onboarded with the department. Our positions are paid, and we do start them at the sophomore academic level at $9.63 an hour and up to graduate level at $14.45 an hour. You are able to work 20 hours per week with flexibility around your school schedule. Since our program began in 2016, I am so proud to say that we have hired over 249 interns, with 54 interns moving into full-time positions that are still with us today. I would like to introduce you to our next speaker, who was an intern that successfully moved into a full-time position in our District 1 office. He is a community planner in the Fort Myers office, and his name is Vitor Suguri.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me today. My name is Vitor Suguri, and I'm the community planner for the Florida Department of Transportation District 1. And today I'm going to talk to you about how I went from an intern to holding a full-time position at the department. Everything started in 2013 when I became an intern for the department, and it was part of the program at Florida Gulf Coast University when I was doing my master's in public administration. It was part of the requirement that we do an internship, and it was a great experience and exposure to the department. It taught me really how the department functioned. It taught me a lot about the position that I was seeking of an administrator, but also it gave me insight about the work of the department, different units, what were they doing, and I also had the freedom to explore different positions within the department, not only the administrative side, but also the planning side. And that was what gave me a little bit of an edge when I went to look for a full-time position. So the exposure to other units, the exposure to different components of the department really gave me an extra experience that gave me an edge when I applied for my community planning position. It was not everything, but it definitely was a great part. And one of the most interesting things about the position of an intern is that you're really doing work. You're not getting coffee, you're not running errands for somebody. So you're really learning from the people who are at the position that you desire how to do the job, what is required for you to do the job. So it was a really rewarding experience. And at the time, I was shadowing and learning from the director, which gave me great insight on how to deal with people, how to run the department, not the entire department, but the unit for District 1. So it was a great learning experience. And one of the things that I used to do in the short hours that I had available for the internship was to actually attend public meetings. Sometimes I get to speak or present at some of the public meetings, which gave me exposure to local officials, elected officials, local staff, and that kind of expanded my network beyond the department. Shortly after my internship was over, a little bit over a year, I got accepted to Florida State University, so I did not get to move into a full-time position right after the internship, which can happen at some times. So I finished my PhD program at Florida State University at the end of 2019. I got a PhD in urban and regional planning. And shortly after that, a position opened up at Fdot for a community planner. And that really was an opportunity I took full advantage of because I knew the department. I knew some of the people at the department from the internship. So those relationships really counted and weighed in when I applied for the position. So in 2020, I became a full-time employee for the department as a community planner. And I'll show you some things that I learned throughout my internship that really helped make the difference. And you might have seen this picture before, but those are really 6 key ingredients for a successful internship. So one, you have to really learn about the department, learn about the people in the department. You should have goals. What do you want out of the internship? Don't just wait around to be told what to do. Don't wait for others to direct how your internship is going to be. Define your goals and really pursue them. Whoever is going to be in charge of internship will probably appreciate that you have goals and you have something that you want to get out of the internship. Skills, always seek to learn new skills, even if you don't know yet that you're going to use it, but it's related to the job that you're looking for. Try to learn as much as you can, ask around. There are other people at the department who can always help you with different skills. I'm not an engineer by trade or a designer, but those are some of the skills I was able to pick up along the way that would help my position. So all of those things are great. And treat others as your mentors. The people who are going to supervise you are definitely going to be your main person, but also look for other people in the department who you might look up to, who can give you direction. Those are also going to be helpful in the future if you're looking for a full-time position. For example, 2 of the people who I was working for as an intern was also working at the department when I became a full-time employee. And having those as a mentor really helped me get me acquainted back into the department because they already knew me and I already had a relationship. So having a mentor definitely is going to help you getting that full-time position, maybe not just one, but multiples. And really take advantage of all the experiences that you have, whether it's going to a public meeting, attending staff meetings, or just going into other units to learn what they're doing. Just embrace the experience so that you're becoming more developed at what you do, get more knowledge of the department, and really going to start developing the mindset that's needed to work at the department. So development is going to be key. So don't think because you're intern, you cannot advance your goals or learn new skills. So always develop yourself. And as a full-time employee, there are several things that I'm in charge for the district, and a few of them are listed here. So Complete Streets Coordinator, I'm in charge of helping implement complete streets through all projects throughout the district. And also Growth Management Coordinator, or what's called today Community Planning Coordinator, which is how do we manage the growth of cities in terms of transportation. And also project management. There are several projects that I'm managing for the district, and I'll highlight a couple of those in a second. And you can see that some of these documents are available for all the positions, and that's something I highlighted in the internship as you're developing your skills. Pick up those guides, pick up those books that are available, read through them, see if it's interest to you, and more likely than not, they're going to be key for you to get in the job. For example, the context classification was one of the items that really made a difference in my interview. My interview had a task component, which was to apply the context classification guide to a scenario, and that kind of made or break the interview. So really pay attention to what resources are available to you as you're doing your internship. Another point I want to highlight are some of the projects I'm working right now. So this one is a State Road 70 corridor vision plan. You can see it's about 160 miles corridor that I was the project manager in charge of producing the plan for the entire corridor. What projects are coming on, what are the needs, what the community wants to see in the corridor. So for the entirety of the corridor, almost across the state, there is a plan in place right now for the corridor. And a smaller scale, similar project was US 27 going through the city of Clueston. The US 27 Corridor Vision Plan is another planning project that I am the project manager for. And this is the end result, not the entire report, but just a snapshot of how we're planning for the future of the city of Clueston in terms of transportation. Thank you, and really appreciate the time. And if you have any questions, please send me an email and I'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions. Have a great day. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Great. Thank you, Vitor. We really appreciate him providing that information for you today. As you can see, networking and setting goals while being an intern can lead to a full-time position. Another program that we would like to highlight today is our PE training program. If you are an engineering student and you are within 4 months of receiving your degree, you are eligible for this extraordinary opportunity. The engineering and training is a rotational assignment, and then you move into the senior engineering and training. Some of the areas that you'll be rotated through are obviously the modes, the public transportation modes. You're going to go through environmental design, where you learn survey and mapping, roadway drainage, right-of-way, traffic operations, construction, and so many more. Next slide. In this program, this is a great way to get exposure to all of the different engineering opportunities within the department. You have the opportunity to accelerate your career advancement with the department. Next slide. At the conclusion of our webinar today, we will provide you with the link to this landing page that links to all of our full-time positions and internship opportunities. It also showcases our benefits and resources, which I'll talk about in just a minute. This is the main hub that will help you navigate your way to getting on board with FDOT. And I'm sure you've heard about all the incredible benefits that come along with being a state of Florida employee. You have a flexibility of schedule. You get incredible health, dental, and vision insurance options. You get all of the paid holidays. I believe there are 9 per year. You do get sick leave and annual leave. Teleworking opportunities are available here at the agency. And we did speak about the professional engineering trainee program. We also have a mentoring program that also falls under my unit, and that is a great way to get paired up with someone else in the agency if you want to learn about something completely different. We also have thousands of training opportunities, both in person and by LinkedIn Learning. And our department, as Brigette said, is very innovation geared. So we want to hear your thoughts and we want to hear your innovative ideas. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you today. Feel free to email me at the email here. And Vitor also provided you his email earlier in the webinar. As mentioned, here are the links to our internship positions and our full-time or OPS position opportunities. All right, I think at this time we're going to open it for questions. Ondine?
Yes, great. Thank you so much, Michelle and Brigette, for providing such a great overview today of the opportunities at FDOT. I think it's clear that there are opportunities for just about any person who comes from any discipline. So we do have a question here. in terms of, can you provide some information on what an international student would need in order to apply?
You do need to be authorized to work in the United States, and all of those forms will be provided to you by your school. And then we work with the school.
Great. We have another question. What majors do you typically recruit for, and how would you find out about those opportunities?
I'm assuming they're asking about internship positions. We recruit for a variety, from anywhere from communications to engineering to, we have an intern in our office, in the organizational development office, and he works with each of our units. He works with our training unit, our quality management unit, and our policy and procedures unit. So we have a wide variety, and we do post those opportunities with the specifics on that internship page.
Great. We have another question. How long are the summer internships? And maybe along with that, if you can explain if there are part-time as well as full-time internships. You mentioned an example of someone going to school while interning. So are some of them full-time and some part-time?
They are all the same. They are allotted 20 hours per week, and that is flexible. The summer goes along with your school schedule. So you're going to start, in, June, July, and you're going to go through August. So we're going to begin hiring for them. We're going to advertise for them in April, and then we're going to start interviewing probably at the end of May, mid-May, end May. So it coincides with your academic calendar when you go back to school, the same as the fall. We're going to get you in for your interview and try to get you on board right when school starts. Sometimes there's a delay depending upon paperwork, but we try to stay in line with the school academic calendar.
Great. We have another question. Given COVID, this person's wondering if there will be virtual internship opportunities this summer, or will they all be in person? Or do you know?
We actually don't know yet, but a lot of our interns are teleworking at this time. So I think it's dependent upon the office and the rules that are set in place for that office. So it would probably vary depending on what the advertisement is, but that will definitely be conveyed in the advertisement.
Great. We have a follow-up question regarding international students. Are international students, once they graduate, eligible to apply for full-time employment?
Correct, as long as they are authorized to work in the United States, correct.
Super. Also, I think Vitor mentioned maybe his internship was a year long. I wasn't quite sure. So how long, you said they go along with the academic schedule. So can students do more than one internship during more than one academic term? And how would that work?
Correct. And it's dependent upon that position and how long it is allotted for, but you are allowed to work through, as long as that position's available, up through graduation. So if you start out as a sophomore and that position is continuing to become available, I just lost the screen. I thought I lost you. You can work in that position up into graduation.
Great. Yeah, I think we just lost the presentation component.
Okay.
Super. Let's see. I don't see any more questions. If anybody does have a question, we'll give you another minute to enter those. In the meantime, I would like to invite you to please complete our online survey. I'm going to send this in the chat box. It's only 5 questions, and we'd love to get your feedback on this webinar, as well as any future interest in webinars. We do have another question that just came in, and I'll just read it. I'm a Dutch traffic planner working on cycling infrastructure. I'm willing to share some knowledge with the students on implementation of cycling in the network if they're interested in that. So I'm not sure if that's something that would be of interest to Fdot, but if you're interested, I can put you in touch with that person.
Absolutely. And if they can include that in the chat, that would be helpful.
Okay, great. So that person, if you'd like to provide your email to me directly, I'll send that along. Okay, we have another question. In reference to the PE certification, I'm assuming students are sponsored for their certification. Are they then required to work for FDOT for a specified amount of time afterwards?
Bridget, do you know the answer to that question? I think they're actually in the middle of working on that right now as far as policy is concerned.
Yeah, I don't think it's a requirement as it stands right now.
Okay, great. So let's see, I don't see any more questions. If you have not completed our survey, please do so. Let's see, I think that was about it. We have one professor who would like to know how they can build a relationship with FDOT to help students be connected. So if you have some tips on who they can connect with or how to do that.
Absolutely. If he wants to send me an email, that would be wonderful. But we do have two different areas that we have intern coordinators. We have a Southern region and a North region, and I will happily put him in touch with those coordinators so that he can get the word out to his students.
Super. We've got lots of good questions today. Thank you, everyone. This person would like to know, what does FDOT expect from an intern in terms of expertise while recruiting? So what kinds of tools or things do they need to know?
I think that is dependent upon the position. And as we discussed, it could be a wide variety of needs, and it depends on your area of study and where you're interested in. So I really hate to say you need a certain this or certain that, because it will be dependent upon the position that you apply for. But obviously you will need to, work in an office setting and work alongside others and be a team player. But the basics, of that. But as far as specifics, I'm so sorry, I can't give you those. It would be dependent upon the position they're applying for.
Sounds good. And those positions you again said were advertised on your website.
Correct. They are on at the end, the internship link. You can also get it from the other one as well, just an extra click that goes there. But we should be advertising for the summer in mid-April.
Okay, great. And we will send that link out when we send a recording of today's webinar. So you can get that in your email if you have trouble finding it. So this person asked if there are any specific positions for traffic engineers, because they did not see one dedicated to traffic engineering on the website provided. So I'm not sure if that can, if you're aware of anything along those lines.
It could be, if they're looking at the site that Michelle provided, it could be just that we don't have any openings in that area right now, but we definitely have a traffic engineering and operations office with positions. It's just that we may not have any vacancies right now that are advertised.
Vacancies won't be advertised until a little bit later in the month.
Oh, they're talking specifically to the internship program? I apologize.
They're not clear, so it could be either. Okay, great. I think, full-time. They're looking for full-time.
Okay, yeah.
So just that there aren't any. So.
Yep.
Okay, this person would like to know if there's any advantage of having a PhD rather than an MS for starting a full-time position. And I'm not sure if you can speak to that, since we're talking mostly about internships, but.
I think that would be tough to answer. And again, it's going to be dependent on the position that they're applying for and what that office is needing. And obviously, how they come in with you and their skills and their fit. A lot that goes into filling the position, and degrees, PhD or a master's may not be an important thing that kind of weighs one way or the other. That would be really dependent on the position and the people hiring.
Great. Well, it definitely sounds like there is a lot of interest in future positions at FDOT and perhaps an interest in a future webinar that would talk about additional employment opportunities after graduation. So I really appreciate you inspiring people and telling them about all of the opportunities available. If there are, do you have, Brigette, Michelle, anything else you'd like to add before we close today?
No, just thank you for the opportunity and feel free to email us with any questions.
Yeah, agreed. And I don't know if we made it clear, we are in Tallahassee in the central office location, but we work with all of the districts. We have coordinators for the internship program, along with lots of other programs that the agency has throughout the state. So if you're down in South Florida or wherever you're at, definitely reach out to us. And if we aren't eventually going to be your point person, we'll get you where you need to go. So no, thank you again, Ondine. This has been a great opportunity and we can definitely come back. So thank you for your great questions, folks.
Great. Just a reminder to everyone, you will be receiving an email within about a week that will have the recording to this webinar, and I will include contact emails as well as a link to the Fdot website where you can link to internships as well as other employment opportunities. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we hope to see you on future STRIDE webinars.